Here's 10 of the best unknown wonder kids in Football Manager 2023. A wonder kid is a player who's under the age of 20 who has the potential to be world class in the future, and each one of these players you can pick up for under 20 million quid at the start of the game. First up, we've got Abada. Now, I apologise in advance if I get any of these pronunciations wrong. They're unknown players, right? So no one's ever heard them pronounced. Apart from Celtic fans, you might have seen this guy already. He's a right winger who's fairly determined with a really good right foot. Acceleration 15, pace 14, crossing and dribbling both 13, as well as finishing already here on the save. And looking into his scout report, crucially, he is a fairly consistent performer. That is always an underlying stat which I am looking for in my wonder kids. My scout here tells me he'll be available from 21.5 to 25 million pound. Of course, you can get that under 20 million pound up front with a slight bit of manipulation. Lazar Samadic next. Like how do you pronounce these names? A 20-year-old Serbian, fairly ambitious attacking midfielder with dribbling and first touch already 15 here in this save, as well as passing, technique and balance. He's playing for Udinese. He's had no caps for Serbia so far in his career. He's been available for probably around 15 million pound, and his underlying numbers in terms of consistency and adaptability are really, really good. Do be careful though, he may be a fairly selfish player, and in this particular save may have a problem with injuries. I wanted to put Arda Güler on the list as well. He's a 17-year-old Turkish player, and all these players should have a potential ability over about 160 in your save, which is more than enough to become a wonder kid or become a world-class player. First touch, crossing, passing, penalty taking, technique, determination and flair, all like 15 or above, and he's only 17 years old. He kind of reminds me of the next Mesut Ozil. I'd be really interested to sign this player, and let me know down below if you have signed this guy or any of the other players on the list today. Next up, we got Angelo, a 17-year-old Brazilian right winger who is very left-footed, so he's one of these insided inverted wingers, right, who's going to be really, really good in the future, mark my words. He's already got flair of 15 and dribbling of 15, and he's fast. My scout also tells me he's got good adaptability, which is great, and is available for 11.5 million quid probably at the start of the game. Arsen Zachariah, and then a 19-year-old Russian attacking midfielder who's ambitious and great at playing football. A really cool spread of good attributes here. He's got acceleration, agility, pace that you would expect. He's got decisions, which is great already at 19 of 14, determination 14 and flair 14 as well, and he's got vision of 16 already. Now, to have those kind of mentals at the age of 19 is really, really quite something. He'll be available for around 13 million pound at the start of the game, which is an insane deal, and my scout tells me that he's an ambitious individual, possesses a fair amount of pace, can play in a couple of positions, may encounter some problems when adapting to living in a new country, which isn't great, because who's managing in Russia, right? Nobody. Marcus Leonardo next, someone who I've come across a couple of times on my videos so far, but I'm pretty confident in putting him on an unknown wonder kids list because you guys probably haven't heard of him yet. He's one of the best young strikers in the game, to be fair. Finishing and composure of 15 already, acceleration 15, stamina 14. He's going to be so good, I think, and he's available for between 10 and 15 million pound at the start of the game. He's got a balanced personality. He's not played for Brazil yet, but you can get him straight away because he's 19. Underlying numbers in terms of consistency are great, and he's got no real cons in terms of like injuries or anything like that. Next, we got Vitoro Rook, a 17-year-old Brazilian who can play in all three main attacking areas of the pitch, if that makes sense. He's a determined striker with determination of 18. Everywhere else, really, it's 13s. That's probably his highest attribute. Or he has got agility and acceleration of 14 here on this save as well. He's going to be really, really good, I'm sure. And for 10 million quid at the start of the game, you really can't go wrong. Fairly consistent performer, my scout is telling me under the bonnet. In at number 3 is Desire Doe. I'm guessing that's how you say his name. It's like, I'm sure it's pronounced differently, right? But Desire, what a nice first name. He's got all the stats you would expect to have as a centre midfielder, but also he looks like he could become a kind of attacking midfielder slash winger with dribbling 14, first touch 14, acceleration, agility 13 and 14 with pace of 13, for example. Determination of 15, though, underlines his fairly determined personality. A lot of growing to do. He's only 17, but it could be very adaptable when it comes to living in another country, and my scout is also telling me that he displays a fairly determined attitude. They need to mix it up a little bit, I think, with the superlatives here, or the adjectives. Determined comes up quite a lot. In at number 3, Muhammad Ali Cho. What a name. 18-year-old French balanced personality striker with a good left foot. First touch 14, dribbling 13. He's got technique, determination and pace to burn. He's got a little bit of growing to do. He's quite an aggressive player, which is good, and he's 6 foot tall and he's not bad at heading, which is a plus for your strikers. I'm finding it quite hard to find strikers who are good at heading, to be honest with you. No real no real cons in terms of the underlying statistics from the scout. They're just telling me he's got a balanced personality, possesses great pace, can play in a couple of positions, and has English as a second nationality. Interesting. Top of the list today, though, Giorginio Rutter, the 20-year-old French wonder kid who can play with either foot, which is important, has a balanced personality, and is described here as a striker, although he can play in a multitude of positions. He's got flair 16 and dribbling 15, as well as pace and acceleration as well. And technique actually 15. So he's already got a lot of good attributes and still some room for improvement as well. Good price tag in terms of £50 million, which is quite nice. You can see here in the bottom corner, my scouts are telling me he is going to be world class basically. He's got a balanced to normal personality, is great at adaptability, and has no real cons in terms of underlying attributes. Guys, thanks for watching. There's your list. I've got a couple of bonus ones in there, but they're out on loan at the moment. That's Stefano Taruti, the Italian 20-year-old goalkeeper. He looks absolutely class. And Destiny Udogi. Look how good this left back looks, right? It's just a shame he's out on loan straight away. If you want to download the shortlist, feel free to hit the join button down below this video or follow us on Patreon. But please hit the like button if you've enjoyed it. Please hit subscribe if you are new, and we'll see you next time. Peace.